everybody. Hello, hello. Happy Saturday morning from Jessica Coulter, the CEO and founder of Ace Cookie Tutoring. Today we are talking about effort myth number 4. So if you've missed the other ones, definitely check them out on my YouTube channel and on my Facebook business page. So today is all about teachers grading based on effort. So moms and dads that are watching, I want to know, what do you think? Is that something your teen believes? Is that something you believe? Is that really a myth? Because I got to tell you, some students think, they can put whatever correct answers down and any effort they have or haven't made doesn't matter. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, before we really get going, do you know I also have a Facebook group where we talk about all sorts of study strategies that help teens learn. So join us in that group if you're not already a member by clicking the link in the description. So, teens, effort, and grades, and teachers. Well, I gotta tell you that teachers definitely do grade based on effort. Okay, so an example I gave yesterday, actually 2 days ago, about effort had to do with adults and working and having 2 weeks to do a project and not working on it until a couple days before the deadline and relating that to your students and a big project, a big paper. Okay. So today, since I'm hungry, I haven't had breakfast yet. I'm thinking about cake. I don't know why. I love my chocolate. I love my sweets. But I want you to think about the fact that your teen bakes a cake. And it's the most beautiful, wonderful looking cake ever. Tastes amazing. And yet, at the same time, you have another cake that somebody else made and it looks horrible. Like the frosting is just not where it's supposed to be. There's no decorations. So you've got 2 very different cakes. Okay. And, think about that with school and your kids turning in a paper. I'm thinking, yeah, we type them nowadays, but you didn't used to always. And there's going to be times when your teens, even in this day and age of computers, they're still going to handwrite papers and handwrite essays and things on a test. Blue books, as far as I know, still exist, let alone essay answers and things, because, if you're on the computer, you can cheat. Can't do that as easily with paper and pencil. But anyway, so we're thinking about the cakes. Now we're thinking about, say, I'm thinking like a paper. And your kid has to write it because it's the final. He's in class. He's got 2 hours, whatever it is, to write it. The student that turns it in, and it looks pristine and it's really well worded, he's going to get a grade. The teen that wrote really, really sloppily, has all sorts of smudges, might even spilled something on it, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Very obvious who did more effort, who obviously is going to get the better grade. Now, on a different scenario, I'm thinking about the person who made the cake that's really, really messy, and that's what happened today. But then 3 weeks from now, he makes a cake that's still messy, but it looks better than the cake from today. Same thing with the essay. Maybe your teen had a really, really bad midterm, did that sloppy paper, just sloppy every possible way, messy every possible way, and yet the final, all of a sudden, there's still that spill on it, but it makes much more sense, and there's definite improvement. That's going to help your teen. That's going to make a difference because there has been effort made. Okay? So I want you to know, and I want your teens to know, that it really does matter to teachers, to professors, to educators, when it comes to grading, that yes, effort matters. Okay? So I want to make sure I'm making this make sense, because I really also want to help you understand that we talked about last minute effort in the past, earlier this week. And I got to tell you, if your teen, say, I keep going back to the cake because I really must be hungry. And I'm thinking about the kid that, say someone never even bothered to make a cake. So that's all the assignment was for first 2 months of school. That's all you were supposed to do each day in class. You're supposed to make a cake. And you never did. Or your kid was supposed to do the daily assignment each day in class, and he never did. And yet at the same time, there's somebody that is really, really struggling, but is making lots and lots of effort. That cake tastes terrible, it's really messy, or, only a couple problems are getting done each day. Or the kid is constantly asking questions and constantly, reading the book and trying to figure things out and asking people for help. I gotta tell you that teachers love that kid that's always asking for help. They love the kid that's making constant effort. Because when it comes to the end of the wire and your teen wants to pass that class, and he's sitting there on that border, like at 68, 69, depending on what school system you're in. I gotta tell you, if your teen's like, hey, could you please bump me up to a C so I can pass and be done with this class? Because at the college level, a lot of times you have to get a certain grade to count it towards your major, otherwise you have to retake the class. The teacher is much, much, much more likely to say, yes, I'll bump you up to a 70 if your teen's been making effort. Whereas if you have a teen that hasn't done anything, and then all of a sudden, last second, oh, I want to pass this class, the teacher is not going to be as willing to help a student who hasn't made much effort. Okay, so again, hopefully it's not seeming contradictory to what we talked about in the past about last minute effort. Just know when teachers are involved, when you're trying to get them to kind of finagle your grade, because unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on where you stand on things, grading really is subjective in a lot of ways. Teachers aren't going to want to help the students that didn't help themselves. So we'll talk about this more in just a second. If you're just now catching this, if you're watching the replay, I would love it if you drop the word replay down below. If you're catching this live, would love to hear your thoughts and see what your teens are doing when it comes to effort. And I hope you've subscribed to my YouTube channel, followed my Facebook business page, because there's one more myth about effort, and next week will be a whole new theme. And I want to know, what can I talk about, guys? What can I help you bust? What myths can I bust? So let's get back to today's myth about teachers and effort. So I will tell you that students who make consistent effort ultimately do better in school in every possible way. And they do better the fact that they get better grades, and they do better, most importantly, because they learn more. Okay, I mean, you unfortunately aren't going to be able to ever write a really great paper. You're not ever going to make a really great cake that looks great, tastes great, if there's not a whole lot of failed attempts. Okay, if there's not a whole lot of trial and error that happens, because that's what it takes to learn anything new. You've got to fail a whole bunch of times before you get it. Now, sometimes that first time just is amazing and it works really, really well. Unfortunately, that doesn't happen in all classes for all students all the time. Okay, because unfortunately, sometimes a student might be like, this has been so easy up to now, and then they hit that class that just kind of blows their minds. That is like, oh, my effort that I've been making up to this point isn't enough. Oh, I don't know the skills, the strategies I need to learn this, because I've never had to truly learn before or put that kind of effort towards learning in before. So definitely do know teachers are paying attention to your teen's efforts. Okay, I want every parent listening here to help your teens realize teens' efforts plus teachers equals grades. Okay, that's kind of the magic formula for today. Is teachers know which students are making effort, they know which ones aren't, and sometimes it is good to be that squeaky wheel, to always ask for help, to be talking and forming that relationship with a teacher, and it makes a difference if the teacher knows you're there making an effort. So guys, join me in my Facebook group if you're not already, because I have an awesome event happening right now, and I have all sorts of strategies available when it comes to studying, when it comes to learning, because students that love to learn, they do better in school, and students that actually like learning will make more of an effort than students that don't. So if you want to know how to make that happen for your own teen, join us in the Facebook group. So have an amazing weekend. I will see you tomorrow for the last effort myth. Bye.